You know, when you look at modern kids' content, it can feel like just a chaotic swirl of colors and sounds, right? But what if I told you there's a hidden curriculum at play? So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and deconstruct it to uncover the surprisingly sophisticated teaching methods that are hiding in plain sight.
Okay, if you have a toddler or have even been near one, this probably sounds painfully familiar. It's a total jumble of letters and phrases. It sounds like complete nonsense, right? But what if it's not a mistake?
And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. Beyond the scrambled alphabet, what is actually being taught? The big idea here is that maybe, just maybe, this isn't noise at all. Maybe there's a very clear signal, a whole curriculum really, designed specifically for those little brains.
All right, let's dive into our first pillar, foundational literacy. This is all about how these videos teach the absolute basics, like the ABCs, using some very specific and, you'll see, very repetitive patterns. And right away, you see the core strategy. That constant, fragmented repetition of the alphabet, it isn't a bug, it's a feature. Think about it. A toddler's brain is basically a pattern-finding machine. So hearing those little chunks of letters over and over again, even out of order, is actually a really powerful way to build recognition and lock it into memory. And then you get this line, which is just brilliant. The content isn't just throwing information out there, it's actively inviting the kid to join in. This one simple phrase flips the switch from passive listening to active learning. It's this classic call and response, and it's super effective at keeping a kid hooked.
Okay, so let's move on to pillar number 2, because this is where it gets even more interesting. We're shifting from literacy to early STEM. And you're going to see the exact same teaching techniques we just talked about, but now they're being used for basic geometry and logical thinking.
So pay close attention to how this starts. It doesn't just say, hey, here's a triangle. Nope. It leads with a question and then immediately gives a clue for the child to chew on. It's got 3 sides. That little prompt gets their brain working.
And then boom, step 2. It gives the correct name and a super clear, simple definition. This connects the dots, linking the word triangle directly to its features. It's like this perfect little bundle of information.
And here it is, the secret sauce. Step 3, instant positive reinforcement. That simple, good job, is a huge psychological tool. It's like a tiny little reward, a little dopamine hit that tells the brain, hey, that was good. Pay attention for the next one.
So the big takeaway here? None of this is an accident. What we've just seen is a deliberate 3-step teaching formula that just repeats and repeats. You get a question with a clue, you get the answer and definition, and it's all sealed with praise. What looks like a simple, silly song is actually a super structured mini lesson. All right, so we've covered letters and shapes, but now let's shift gears to something a little deeper. Pillar 3 is all about social-emotional skills, the building blocks for things like empathy and kindness.
So, the video sets up a scenario every kid can understand. Someone needs help. But instead of just showing what to do, it asks the viewer directly, what's the thing to say? It's framing empathy not just as a feeling you have, but as something you do, with specific words you can use. And check this out, it literally gives them a script to follow. The song breaks down this really complex social situation into a simple, 4-step process you can actually remember. It's basically handing them a verbal toolkit for a situation that could be really confusing otherwise.
Okay, on to our final pillar, and this one is a biggie. We're going to look at how this content encourages a massive developmental leap, the jump from the concrete, real world into the world of make-believe and imaginative play.
I love this example from the source. It draws a clear line between playing with an object for what it is, a toy, and seeing what it could be, a turtle shell. This isn't just about playing. It's modeling that huge cognitive jump that is, let's be honest, the foundation of all creativity.
Okay, so let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. What we've seen is that the stuff that seems kind of random or even annoying, the fragmentation, the repetition, those aren't flaws. They're actually the core features of a really deliberate, really specific teaching method.
So if we boil it all down, we've spotted 4 key techniques that pop up again and again across all these pillars. You've got constant repetition to build memory, call and response to keep kids engaged, simple, actionable scripts for social situations, and that immediate positive reinforcement to make the whole thing feel good. Okay, so what? Why does any of this matter? Well, because when you understand the structure behind this content, it empowers you.
Whether you're a parent, a caregiver, an educator, it helps you become a more informed consumer of media, and it helps you understand how your kids are being taught, not just what they're being taught.
And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. We know this stuff is made to teach things like letters and shapes, but by using these super optimized, repetitive, reward-driven methods, what is it teaching our kids about the process of learning itself? That's definitely something worth thinking about.